Okay, I gotta do my rounds and post my live messages. I've done my rounds. For posting. Let's see. Okay. I think that's good for that. Oh, I need to make sure freaking Herd's gonna be able to open. Get that updated. Hello, Cat Dad. Thank you for the points contribution. Changes from remote. I think we're just gonna take the. Excuse me. Yeah, it should just by default be the changes from remote. Now, why was this a problem? I guess that's one way to look at it. That's so strange. Why is this thing having problems? I mean, there's a port conflict, I'm sure, but... Alright, we're going to turn that into debug mode. Why can't this launch? Okay, let me just stop all the services here. Can I get... so that thing had its own slew of issues. So layer gun's not really the ideal choice. Why was this thing problematic in the first place? I don't understand. You just do a full uninstall of it. Hello, Amber. Welcome in on your lurk. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I was just really tired. I was extremely tired this morning for no real discernible reason. I guess I just didn't sleep well. I think I've talked about it before, but I have sleep apnea, so it causes me to have difficulty sleeping at night. On top of having like sinus issues and allergies. Okay, I've done a removal. Now maybe if I install it from scratch. Hey, Tofu. What are you thanking me for? Okay. Finished the setup. It didn't auto run though, so check the herd documentation. Oh, about the oh, you mean Saturday? Okay, it's still Thursday for me. I was confused. Not Mac OS instructions. Let's go to Windows instructions. It doesn't say anything about needing to run it as an administrator, which I'm pretty sure I don't need to. Okay, well, it didn't remove all the settings, so that's not ideal. All right, let me go look at some logs. Logs are boring anyway, so I can do that during the ad break. The network location cannot be reached. I wonder if that's because of the Nginx server not running. What's using port 80? Nothing seems to be using port 80. So I don't know what it's complaining about. Check if another proxy's running under port 80. Yeah, but I just looked at my stuff and there's no... Oh, what if it's not port 80? That's the problem. What if it's 445? Oh, we're back from ads. Sorry, guys. I was having a realization. Something is on port 445. I think that's system. That idea system. Yeah, because or 443, not 445. It's having a brain fart there. Is 443 in use? No. So the ports it would want to use are open as far as I can see. And that's port 80 anyway that it's having a trouble with. I'm confused. This seems to be... Can I go to the history? Yeah, so it's already got that. I guess I could just change the configuration file. Although I can try to run herd as an admin. That might help. Let me stop all the services first. I'm so used to doing this stuff on my MacBook at this point that this is a less elegant process. succeed by running as admin? Of course not. And this part doesn't even seem to care. Cool. Alright then. Where the heck does it keep those things installed at? Well, I'm not the only one having this issue. Okay, let's look there for the files. All right. Herd. Config. Stop. Don't open that. That'll be awful. Just open a notepad. Damn it. What ports are open? I mean, technically it says port 80 is open, but I guess that's not true. Let's try 8080. I think that one's in use, but we'll see what happens. Let's try to find what's on port 80. Well, first let's find 5,000. Seemingly nothing. I wonder, could it be? And someone commented their antivirus was causing the problem. Could it be as simple as this is an antivirus issue? It's not flagging me with any warnings. Switch to face cam here for a minute. Yeah, I think I've turned off my firewall and everything. No, that still presents an unknown issue. Okay. So let me stop all the services then. And I guess I'll try to reinstall MAMP. I didn't really like using MAMP on here because I had to manually handle my DNS settings, but if the alternative is this nonsense, actually I should have a download from it from the other day. What are you suspicious of there, Amber? Or are you just playing with the new emote? Come on, Mamp. Let's hope that Mamp runs without problem. Because if all of its things run, then I can make this work. Yes, I have a license. I do not want to show my license. So we're going to switch to face cam for a moment here. Okay. Don't need to be flashing my paid software serial keys to the world. Ooh. Disable that. Amber, you didn't answer me. What are you suspicious about? Or are you just playing with the emote? Oh, nothing suspicious going on. Yeah, I think all of the new ones are available now. I think. Well, all the ones that could fit. Let me check. Oh, yeah, yay. Which services are failing to start? The ones that I need. Great. Awesome. It's probably a port issue still. What, did MAMP crash? Yeah, so we don't have all of the emotes yet, partially because I don't have enough standard slots for all of them. Like, we're missing the Wheeze emote. We're missing the Cult emote. I mean, I'm going ahead and, like, uploading them so that they can be approved, so that whenever we have the slots that they can be like available right away. That'll be resolved sooner. I don't know. The next tier of sub points, which is like 5 points away or something like that, says I get 0 standard ones and I get some animated ones. So I don't know how they're broken up as of next week. Why are you being ominous? Twitch emote slot unlocks. Let's see, what are the tiers at which they unlock? Okay, affiliates can get 20 of each. I have if they're counted by all the tiers combined, then I have 16 currently standard ones, which means theoretically I can only get 4 more standard ones until I hit before I hit partner, or like until I hit partner. Like I'd have to hit partner to get more. All right, that's already one of them. And I'm a long way from hitting partner, so just in terms of concurrent viewership, I actually meet the other requirements, funnily enough. It'll happen with time. Good. All right. Let's see. Okay, so the SQL reporting service could be the problem. think I might have been muted for a while. Probably from when I sneezed earlier and I hit the mute button. Nope, I need to migrate first. Shit. Oh, not Horizon. It's Telescope. This. Okay. Now. Cool. Is that? Oh, no, it's not. It's not slash shop. It's slash store. I should probably make that configurable though. Okay, so to make this import. Didn't I have a plugin for env files? Yes, this. Hiding values in env files. unhide a value? Or unshow a value? Because, like, I need to put my fourth wall information in there, but I don't need it showing to you guys. So media code folding options. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's how I do it. Cool. My storefront is fine. That part doesn't matter so much. Okay. That variable's there. So now Right, so it's not going to automatically. So now I need to run PHP artisan sync fourth wall. All right, it didn't like something. Logs. Oh God, why are the logs so crazy? Really? I'm surprised that that's a problem. I mean, I got that it was a problem at the office because of how the network security works. But it shouldn't be a problem here. I mean, it's fine. I can fix that for now. But that's definitely something I need to figure out. Okay, sync's completed successfully, which should mean that we've got, where is it? Here. Bam! So it's already pulled in the products after syncing. So the only thing that, okay, that needs to be fixed. And the characters are messed up here. Of course, the layout is terrible. It's only got the one image, it's not pulling in. I mean, it downloads the entire product gallery, but it's not showing it. And the cart's not working right now, right? Yeah, cart doesn't do anything. So let's go to the admin panel. Let's set up a home page. Set it at default. Do a Twitch embed. And allow it to show chat. Cool. So this is working. And chat should show up in here. Yeah. Cool. All right, so now what are my next tasks? Let's generate a plan for this one. Need to create a branch. How is this different from a hosting service? So it's not a service. It's literally just like a web app. Like, so the idea is that like you can use any number of web apps, I guess, your existing services to generate or to create a website, right? You could use, I mean, heck, Streamlabs exists. But the issue I found was I was not happy with them, like, because this isn't something I'm trying to like sell to anybody, right? It's open source. So I was unhappy with some of the limitations, like if you use Streamlabs, which I currently have Streamlabs set up as like my site, if you want to put it on your own domain, you have to either have the domain through a host or a provider that they use, like get the domain through them effectively, or be willing to direct all of your DNS controls, like for your domain, to them. I don't want them to handle my DNS because I may be using that domain for other purposes. I don't want to change my name servers for my domain just to point a subdomain to them or something. There are other, solutions out there. I mean, if you don't know how to build a site yourself, again, you could use like probably Squarespace, but Squarespace, unless you're going to do a lot of special code, I don't think is going to give you certain functionality you might want, like Twitch embeds, and I'm also including a Discord and Twitch combined integration where like you have to set up your own Twitch bot, like because you have to provide the API keys for it, but and the same with Twitch, you have to give it Twitch API keys. But when you go live, the bot site basically will be able to post live notifications to, say, a Discord server. There are bots. You don't understand the DNS name server point. Yes, they need an address to resolve to, but so I wanted to set up, I was just going to use Streamlabs originally because I already use them for like some of my bot stuff, and they have a thing that has built-in store, merch store, all that stuff. But for me to use my own domain name, I would have to change the name servers for my domain to them, meaning that they handle all of my DNS. I don't want them handling my DNS. I just want to point to whatever either IP address or CNAME I need to use to resolve the website. What if I'm using that domain for email? Like, how is it going to access how is it going to have the records for my mail if they're the ones handling my DNS? Now, presumably, if I were to change my name servers to their service that they're using, I maybe can still add additional DNS entries, but all of that's already configured for me. Why do I have to change the name servers that I'm using just to point them to a website? You know, I don't want to give another service control of my domain. I just want to host a website. So, but I want to have like effectively like a content management system. I want it to be flexible. I don't want to have to make code changes every time I do something to it. So I'm building an application akin to like how you might use, say, WordPress. You know, once upon a time, I used to use WordPress for that kind of stuff. Exactly. So you actually are hitting the nail on the head. I use Cloudflare for most of my traffic and resolution. If you buy your domain through Cloudflare, you can't change your name server, for one thing. I'm a little annoyed about that, but that's fine. I use Cloudflare for all my name server stuff. The domain I want to use, I purchased through Cloudflare. I wanted to use it on Streamlabs, and Streamlabs basically told me to go pound sand unless I was able to change my name servers. They won't just give me the DNS records to add to Cloudflare. I don't want to change my name servers. So I mean, probably it's probably meant to make things easy for people who don't know how to do that kind of stuff. But the fact that there was no like sense of understanding, like, oh, we have an advanced user here, because I like contacted support about it, and there was no like, hey, we can provide you these records and you can enter them manually. I understand that those records might change, especially if they're just IP addresses, but surely they're probably using CNAMEs anyway, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. But that was just basically what they stuck me with. Now, again, I could host my own websites. I could do that I used to do that kind of stuff just using like a WordPress thing. I could probably write plugins to do half the things I want to do if they didn't already exist. But WordPress has a bunch of drama around it that I'd rather stay away from right now, or recently. So I had moved to building stuff with Laravel. And if I'm going to build it for me and make it where I can kind of easily and quickly change things about it, I may as well release it open source and let other people use it. And in the process of coming up with that, I ran into another issue that I decided I could solve with this, which is where the Discord and the Twitch stuff comes into play. I have a Discord server, and I have where it will post notifications when I go live. But I do different types of streams. Sometimes I'm doing development streams, sometimes I'm doing gaming streams, and I wanted my community. I assume we're talking static sites. I mean, this is going to be fairly dynamic. It's going to be a CMS. I mean, you'll be able to generate pages. I have a block system already that's kind of working. The only block for it right now is for Twitch embeds, like a stream embed. So it's just pulling in the ability to do like this, the chat and the stream embed. But all of that's being handled. You just run an AWS. That's fine. I don't mind explaining. I think we're about to have an ad. So when that happens, I'll pause stream and I can continue explaining afterward. So I already have the start of a block system here where I can add elements to a page, akin to like a WordPress site, where you can construct your pages a certain way and have a level of dynamic control to it. And you'd be able to use it for a blog post, a blog and stuff too, once that's all set up. But what I was getting at with the Twitch and Discord stuff was that I have the community and they get pings, but somebody may not want to get a ping for anything other than gaming streams. Somebody may want to only get the development streams. Well, there's no existing bot I can find for Discord that's capable of doing things conditionally based on stream category. Like to only mention a certain role if a certain category is used. So I wanted to write something that's going to do that, and it's going to do that by getting your stream information and then using a Discord bot. You can customize what roles you want mapped to what categories on Twitch, that kind of thing. And customize your messages. We are going to have an ad break probably here in the next 5 seconds. I don't want to snooze it because I don't want to end up with pre-roll. So we will pause for ads. But I will be happy to continue explaining parts of it when we come back. You may not get ads, although it says ads starting soon. It has, there it goes. Okay. We should be back from ads. So, real quick, what I was about to say right as the ads cut me off is you actually may not always get an ad, even when we go on ad break. It's entirely dependent on regions and everything. Next project, I'm planning to do some infra as a service. Yeah, infrastructure is not really my thing. I mean, you could run, when this is done, you could theoretically run it on any private web server setup. Like, I say any, you would be, your best bet would be as long as it's Linux based, because you'd have to be able to install Composer and NPM, and you'd have to have PHP and some form of database. I think MySQL is what I'm using right now, but I think Laravel supports a few different databases, so you'd have to have a database set up for it. But it's not really set up as like any kind of service. It's going to be up to the individual to install and run the site, kind of like you might with WordPress.org, like, because you have WordPress.com where you can get WordPress hosting for a WordPress site, but WordPress.org is where you go to download the application and then you have to put it on a server and set it up yourself. It's kind of the same idea. It's just a little more complicated to run because it requires that under frame of things like Composer. Because of that, I don't think there's a way for me to like package it the same way you might WordPress, you know, where you can just throw some files on a server and have it running. It does require some CLI commands. It won't be the, you know, easiest thing in the world for someone to set up, but I was making it mostly for myself and then just decided to release it to other people. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of solving my own problems more than anybody else's. And then if other people happen to find it useful, good for them. Why is Steam open? Go away, Steam. Is pretty much what it comes down to. Because like the Discord thing was a big problem. I found a bunch of Discord bots that could do different things based on like Twitch notifications and Twitch streams going live, but most of them don't even react to the category. I found one that does react to the category, and you can have it, you know, ping a role or something based on a category. You can customize the message, which could involve pinging a role, and you could send, its big thing was you could send the message to a specific channel based on, in Discord, based on the category. But I found that it only seemed to work for one specific, like I could configure it for a category to go to a channel, but then the moment I configured a different category to go to a different channel, it just like overwrote the original. It wouldn't let me do more than one. And the way I kind of avoid having to make this a service is the fact that I don't provide the Discord bot. I don't provide the Twitch bot. People have to bring their own API keys. I should say platform as a service is I'll deploy your images and set up actions on your repo. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm not doing any kind of infrastructure. I mean, I'll set up my own infrastructure when I run it for myself. But this is definitely just more of just a web application that someone could install. Yeah, most folks aren't making hosting projects. Yeah, I don't have the ambition to like want to do the actual hosting part. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of money in it in the grand scheme of things if you're hosting something that's in demand. But I just don't want that responsibility. I have a day job. I have other things to worry about. Let's see. I think I've already fixed this one because this is in the product view, the show product, which is where is it? Fourth wall service. Go away. It's complaining about a bunch of stuff there. Get request, post request. Was it not in this one? Was it in my controller? It's probably in my controller. Never picked up PHP. I picked up PHP through doing a lot of work with WordPress, and that was pretty much the extent of it. We don't need to do that because I've already done. Yeah, no, this is done because I already moved. That's handled elsewhere. Okay. There's still some other things, underlying things to change, but I think we can merge this guy finally. Have you tried the Java Stacker Go? I mean, I've done some Java stuff. I had to for my bachelor's degree. That was required. And I have to work a bit with Apex for my day job because of Salesforce. And Apex is kind of like Java. It's kind of like Java / C#. I don't really like most of the like traditional compile languages because I don't have the patience to have to compile through a bunch of different stuff. Cart controller is the one where that one was problematic, which was this guy. Modern days PHP and Ruby are in, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have to do. There are sometimes some things I do that I can't get away from it. Like, I do hobbyist solo game development. So, like today, you've caught me doing this project, but especially recently, most of my development has been on a game that I've been making for a few months. And I do that in Unreal Engine 4, which means that I have to do C++, at least sometimes. I can get away with some stuff in Blueprint, but I do have to do some coding. But I find it very boring to wait on any large compiling jobs. Yeah, it is quite painful. Especially if I have to compile and then reopen, it does some hot compile, but generally I end up having to reopen the engine for things to take effect. So, and that's not a fast process. The cart itself was not working since my most recent changes. So I guess I need to figure out why. Oh yeah, C++. Yeah, the C++ part. Yeah, because if I'm doing it in Blueprint, which is, does this not have a dark mode? That's awful. I thought it had a dark mode. Just turn that back on. That should make it less awful. There it goes. It's warming gradually. C++, like, if I do it, anything I do via Blueprint, I can compile pretty quickly. But if I have to do any C++ coding, I'm almost like 98% of the time going to have to close and reopen the entire engine because the hot compile is just garbage. Okay, so I got a 302. C++ 11, never got to the modern stuff. I gotta be honest, I don't actually know which C++ version I'm working with. I don't know that much about it. Half of what I accomplish in C++ is just monkey typewriter, just brute force. I in the grand scheme of things, I'm more of a designer than a true developer. I kind of a terrible programmer in the true grand scheme of things. But to me, it's more about, I do like to learn new things. And so I can do that by like tackling projects. Okay, so it did a post request. Did it post request? I guess it post requested to the local site. The dark reader extension works okay. I'm in the Zen browser though. I don't know. Let's see. Go away. I don't want to like permanently, because I'll eventually have done my own theme and everything for the website or web app, and so it won't all be in light mode. No, go away. Okay. That's better. It's probably a Windows thing because on when I'm not at home, I generally do this stuff on my MacBook, and on my Mac, it runs in dark mode automatically without me changing anything in the browser. Well, without me changing anything on the website, like forcing the website into it. The browser just puts it in dark mode. Yeah, this is not my main browser that I'm working in. This is the browser I use when I'm doing streams, just so I don't accidentally flash like a password or something at somebody. So I just specifically use this browser during streams. Okay, so the add to cart was causing it to do a post request. Add to cart. There we go. So it's the create cart message. Replacing a car, Honda CR-V to RAV4 opinions. So I'm not familiar really personally with any Toyotas. Like I've never owned one, and I don't know that I know anybody that owns one. What's the car you were replacing? Honda Accord. You want a bit more space camping. Okay. I guess I kind of did something similar. I replaced a Kia Forte with a Kia Sorento a couple years ago. And a Sorento looks to be kind of in that same light SUV class, like mid-range SUV class. I mean, I certainly see a lot more CRVs on the road. I've never personally owned a Honda. I know some people who have, and they seem to like the Hondas. Like I said, I don't know about anybody that's owned a Toyota. But comparing the two, at least based on the newer models, I would say it looks like at least you get more horsepower with the Toyota, if that's what you think you might need. If you're gonna be like towing something, but yeah, I like my my Sorento. It's a 2023. It's a couple years old, but it has lots of room, especially compared to a small car. I'm not really a car guy though, too. My fiance is definitely more of the car person. And if she was awake, I would get her opinion for you. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm actually... It's about time for me to wrap up stream for today. Because I have to go to work in the morning, and I did not sleep well yesterday. So I was kind of just piddling around, looking at a couple of these error messages. But if you've enjoyed hanging out here, I do stream about 3 times a week usually. I have a gaming stream tomorrow. I'll be live kind of in the same time frame, and usually for longer. I don't know what I'm playing yet. That sometimes gets decided moments before I go live. But generally try to keep things pretty chilled out here, as Amber can attest to. Oh, thank you for the follow. Should I just call you engineer? Let's see who we can raid. Oh, we gotta raid Starby. Right, she's not going offline. Really should have picked a better alias. You know, it's fine. All right, we're gonna raid Starby. Starby's a friend of the channel. Obviously you came here because it's a development stream. This is a gaming stream. If you'll stick in through the raid just to kind of say hello, and then you can feel free to raid and run if you need to, but I'm going to start the raid because otherwise we're going to have an ad break, and I don't want us to have an ad break. And then I'm going to put the raid emote in the chat. We like to torment Starby. We like to give her a hard time, but in like a friendly way. Night, everybody.